Welcome to Learn English with Stories. Today, you will hear a powerful tale of loss, pain, mystery, and unexpected forgiveness. This is not just a story. It is a journey through emotions, vocabulary, and life lessons. So take a deep breath, relax, and let the words guide you. My name is Aria Lane. I was born in a small, wind-beaten harbor town called North Bay, a place where the ocean was always loud and the nights were always colder than they needed to be. From the very beginning, my life tasted like sorrow. My father, Jonas Lane, didn't smile when the nurse handed me to him. He didn't whisper a blessing. He didn't even touch my hand. He simply stared with a face carved from stone. Why? Because he wanted a son, and I was a daughter. For years, I tried not to believe it, but by the time I was 10, I understood everything too clearly. My father didn't love me. He didn't love my mother either. At night, when the wind dragged over the house, he shouted until the walls shook, and sometimes he hit her. I used to hide under my blanket, counting breaths, praying the noise would stop. And then, one morning, it did. Because he left. No goodbye, no note, not even a memory worth holding. Just the sound of the front door slamming shut. He walked out of our lives, and the silence he left behind was louder than all his anger. My mother, Serena Lane, became everything. At once. A parent, a worker, a survivor, a fighter. She cleaned houses. She washed dishes in restaurants. She did laundry for people who never remembered her name. And she always took me with her. I learned English not from school books, but from overhearing conversations in strangers' kitchens. Words like payment, rent, overdue, late again. These became part of my childhood vocabulary. We lived in a tiny wooden house at the edge of North Bay. The roof leaked, the windows rattled. In winter, the wind entered like an uninvited guest. But even then, I loved my mother more than anything in the world. Or, at least, I thought I did.
It happened on a moonless night. My mother held my hand tighter than usual as we walked through the silent streets. Her fingers were cold. Her eyes looked empty, like she had already said goodbye to something inside her. "Aria," she whispered, "your life will be better after tonight." I didn't understand. Not then. We stopped in front of a tall stone house, a place too rich for the town we lived in. Inside, in a leather armchair, sat a man I had never seen before, Mr. Calder Rowan. His hair was steel gray. His suit was darker than the night outside. His eyes didn't blink. They just studied me, the way a buyer studies an object. On the table near him was an envelope. I watched my mother reach for it. I saw the money inside. Something inside me cracked, like a thin piece of ice breaking under pressure. My heartbeat grew so loud I could hear it in my ears. She was selling me. "No, Mama, no, please," I begged. I grabbed her dress. I clung to her hand, but she pulled away. When I refused to let go, she hit me. A sharp slap, the first and last she ever gave me. The room spun. My cheek burned. And then she whispered into my ear, a whisper colder than winter air. "Don't follow me, Aria. If you do, I will hurt you." She stood, turned, and walked out of the house. She never looked back. That night, I stopped being a child.
Mr. Rowan was wealthy, respected, feared, but never loved. He gave me a room, an attic with a single bed. No decorations, no warmth. From the first morning, he gave me orders. Clean the stair rails. Polish the silver. Wash the floors again. They aren't shining. If I made one mistake, just one, I went to bed without dinner. I cried silently each night, holding a pillow that never held me back. Once, I overheard him tell his driver, "If she runs away, I'll find her, and she will regret it." I believed him. Years passed, like long gray winters. By 16, I was managing most of the house. By 18, I handled his shop accounts. By 25, he trusted me with his business. And on my 29th birthday, he did something I never expected. He handed ownership of the business to me. "You earned it," he said. "I have no family. You were loyal when no one else was." I didn't know how to feel. Grateful? Confused? Angry at the world for making this my path? But I worked hard. I treated my workers kindly. I paid them fairly. I helped those who had nothing, because I knew what it felt like to be nothing. Still, the one memory that refused to fade was the moment my mother let go of my hand. A memory shaped like a wound. Years later, on a rainy autumn evening, something strange happened. I stopped at a bakery, bought bread, and walked back to my car. Under a flickering streetlight, I saw an old woman sitting on the pavement. Her hair was tangled. Her coat was torn. Her hands trembled. I placed money in the cup in front of her. She didn't look up. I walked away, but something about her lingered in my mind. The next evening, I saw her again, this time crossing the road. She stumbled, fell. My car screeched to a stop. I rushed to her side and touched her shoulder. "Are you hurt?" I asked. Her eyelids fluttered. She opened her eyes, and my world collapsed, because I knew that face. Older, weaker, broken, but unmistakable. "Serena?" Her lips trembled, and she whispered, Aria?" My heart twisted. "You didn't lose me," I said quietly. "You gave me away." Her eyes filled with tears. That night, I didn't sleep. Memory after memory returned like ghosts tapping on my window. The next morning, I searched for her. I found her at a community shelter. She looked smaller, as if life had folded her into itself. I sat across from her. "I need to understand," I said. "Why did you do it?" Her voice cracked. "I had nothing. The landlord wanted us out. I told myself Mr. Rowan would feed you, give you a bed, give you a future. But I regret it every single day." Her tears dropped onto the table. Mine stayed inside, frozen. After a long silence, I said, "Come with me." She couldn't believe it, but she came. I got her a small apartment. I visited often. We talked, slowly, carefully, rebuilding a bridge that had burned long ago. I learned things I never knew. She had tried to work, but her health failed. She lived in cheap rooms, unsafe places, and eventually, the streets became her only shelter. The truth cut deep, but it also softened something in me.
One rainy day, my assistant knocked on my office door. "There's a man asking for you," she said. "He says he's your father." My breath stopped. When he entered, I barely recognized him. White hair, bent shoulders, eyes filled with regret. He fell to his knees. "Aria, forgive me." My mother stepped inside. Their eyes met for the first time in decades. She cried. He cried. I felt something shift in the room, like a door opening after years of being locked. I could have told him to leave. I could have stayed angry. I had every right. But I thought about the life I had built, a life where I helped people, a life where kindness was my strength. I reached out and helped him to his feet. "Come inside," I said. And just like that, the past walked into the present.
We began meeting weekly, slowly, awkwardly, painfully. But the ice thawed. We talked. We learned. We laughed. Cautiously at first, then freely. One night my father said, "I'm proud of you." My mother added, "So am I." And for the first time in my life, I felt the child inside me finally exhale. Spring arrived and I opened a training center, a place for young people without families to learn skills and build futures. My parents were there on opening day, watching with pride. A year after finding my mother on the street, I sat on my balcony and whispered to myself, "Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it frees the future." And that was my greatest victory. Thank you for listening to this powerful story of loss, healing, and second chances. If you learned something new today, in English or in life, don't forget to subscribe Learn English with Stories for more meaningful stories. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in new beginnings.